road, just listen to the audio. I have to show you on camera. This video is designed for those of you who are in private security. Maybe you've been in law enforcement 40 years or 30 years. This video is helpful for you. It's helpful for you to understand that training too much is bad for you. This is a rather controversial topic. I'm going to upset a lot of egos. I try not to do that too much. And if you're probably clicking on this video, you're probably clicking on it because of the thumbnail. So let me just give you a backstory. So yesterday was day 2 of the low light combat course. It's a 6-hour class. And at the end of every class, we ask for questions and we ask for anybody's input on how we can improve the class. Because if you just think you're doing a great job teaching and you don't provide any positive feedback or negative feedback or constructive criticism, the only one you're pleasing really is yourself. So one of the students mentioned, I think that we should shoot more. Like on some of the targets, instead of just 2 shots, we should do like 6 or 7. Because in a real life situation, you are going to be firing like 4 to 6 shots. And this student didn't really agree with just firing like 1 or 2 shots. So then we explained to this person who was missing a lot, if we have you shoot 4 or 6 times, you're going to be missing 4 to 6 times based on the general observation of the class, who had very difficulty making 1 hit from 7 yards on a steel target. If we upped the round hit 6, that's going to be 6 misses on steel. If there is a hit, it's by luck. At the end of the day, we were doing a lot of constructive criticism, and I guess the suggestion that was passed around, I would say it's regurgitated, is you guys should be training more. We should be training more on our off-duty time, on our own, at the range, by ourselves. And I am in disagreement with that, and I will explain. If you go training on your own and you've utilized a bad technique, you know what you're going to end up doing on your own? Let's just say you spend 2 hours. Hey guys, today I'm spending 2 hours at the range training. Well, you spent 2 hours learning to fail. You turned 2 hours into regurgitating concepts that aren't working for you. And what we tell our students is, you can keep shooting the way you are, but if you're missing a lot or you're not getting rounds on target when you should be, then we're asking you if you can utilize some of the techniques that we're teaching you. And that's all that we asked. Guys, if you're going to these classes, you're being evaluated, and these instructors are constantly providing tips personally to you, not as a class, and you continue to make the same mistakes, if you go to the range and train 7 hours on your own, you're training 7 hours of a skill that is not going to benefit you, and you're developing, I hate to say so cliche, but you're developing that muscle memory of a skill that isn't really even a skill. It's a handicap. Okay? So what I encourage you to do is go out there and seek professional instruction from professional instructors. Training CQB techniques, maybe your armed security or your trainer. and you're telling us on Instagram and YouTube, oh, our team trains all the time. We train 5 hours a month. My question to you is, who's evaluating your training, and what standards are you using? What qualifications does your instructors have? And is your instructors going through ongoing training? And are they constantly being criticized or critiqued or evaluated by their peers? Because if that's not the case, every time you train for 4 to 5 hours, if you train your people for this, you're training 4 to 5 hours of teaching them to fail if they're using bad techniques. A lot of security companies swallow their pride. They swallow their pride. Security trainers, they swallow their pride. They don't want to be shown otherwise. Okay? Because it makes them look kind of like incompetent. So all I'm asking is for all of the security and law enforcement trainers out there is to seek professional continuing education as well. The next thing that I always hear is, oh, I'm self-taught. Like, I train myself on CQB. Really? I mean, what do you use? You use YouTube as a training aid? Do you not use anything at all, just on what you know? And the answer is, well, it's based just on what I know. Well, what do you know based on what? What is the standard that you're being evaluated on? Okay? For my security field training officers, even police officers, we do have FTOs in both sectors. You know, you're showing your trainees how to approach suspicious vehicles. Well, how were you taught and by who? In the 90s, I think 97, I was a police explorer. And one of our instructors, Jerry Pierman, hands down one of the most influential trainers I've ever had in my life, West Police Department. He was on SEAL Team 3, I believe, and I think he ended up becoming an Army Ranger afterwards. Well, the CQB techniques that were taught as an explorer, that I was taught as an explorer, was by Jerry Pierman and other members of the SWAT team that volunteered a lot of their time, their personal time, and made personal sacrifices to make the Explorer post successful. I think right now that's a deviation. When you talk about Explorers right now, it's ridiculous. The amount of the quality of outcome that's coming out of these Explorer posts. It's like now you can't yell at an Explorer anymore. You can't have them do push-ups, depending on where you're at. And it's not as disciplined anymore. The Explorer post, where I don't have nothing to do with, but somehow I'm connected to it, even though I haven't done any training for them. It's being ran by an Explorer, like another Explorer. All the training, CQB tactics, vehicle pullovers, is being taught by another Explorer, who was taught by another Explorer, who was taught by another Explorer. Unfortunately, these poor kids are going to competitions and they're losing. And I'm just bringing Explorer up as a basis to show you guys that you can gain valuable training even as a police explorer. It just depends on who your mentors are, who your trainers are. Okay? Let me just go through the comments real quick. It's gonna be hot today. Right now, I don't know how hot it is where you guys are at, but we're probably in like the 90s right now. I think probably like 4. So I need to hydrate real quick before I get out. I'll go through comments super fast. Kate Armstrong says hi. Hi, Kate. Mr. Fusion says yo. Mr. Fusion says, Sean, do you think part of it is a type of training as well? Some of these police academies be teaching some type of Aikido, but bull stuff. when a judo throw will be better. Oh, don't let Mr. Conley, from Dragon Investigations, Dragon Security, don't let him hear what you just said. That's a personal preference there. Civilian developments is explorers back in the day, uniforms, badges, and radios, and look like county showing up with PD. A different time, different shenanigans, right? All right, guys, that's all I got. Feel free to comment in the regular comment section box below. Take care.